Good morning, everybody. This is September 14, 12:42 a.m. in the evening, or the earliest morning. I'm going to give you an update number 2 on the progress of the JWO archive site recovery. And I'm also going to add a little explanation how to use the restored JWO website. Make sure you know where that archive is. It's also an archive, meaning at this time I'm not able to access the updates of it, but John will make updates as I request if that comes up. So eventually we'll figure that one out, but right now it's also an archive site only. It's the way it looked in 2020, and we'll get to that in a second. But I want to give you an update on the progress of the site recovery. So here is what, when I look at what my website guy, Blake, what he's done, this is how he presents it to me. And every day there's more work, more work. So each day I see another page being prepared, and it's very impressive looking when I expand these things and look at them close up. And I'm going to show that to you next. All right, so this is what it looks like now. This is running off the page because it's not a web page. It's actually a picture, PNG, I think it is. And it doesn't fit on the screen like it could otherwise, but you get the idea. So as you go down, it has that flavor. I showed you this last time, and it has books and so on, and then featured articles and so on and so forth. But there's more than just this one picture. So I want to show you the next few slides that he did. Okay, so here's the next thing. I really like this. Jesus' warning about competitor with signs and wonders. 3 years after Jesus' ascension, Christians were waiting for Jesus to return on clouds of glory, and so on and so forth. This is really good. What was Paul's proof he was chosen by the true Jesus? So Blake has done a great job of taking what was there and rewriting it, or laying it out in a way that looks pretty modern, I would say. And that's the idea here, is it would have a much more modern feel. Then it has useful links, and we'll keep going down the page. Here's page 3, recommended reading. And so you go and find the typical topics we would have: canon issues, selected articles on Paulinism, and so forth. And then you can load more articles, can subscribe to regular email updates, new and useful links, see all famous thinkers, books critical of Paulinism, selected famous thinkers critical of Paul or Paulinism, Kierkegaard, Vincent Holmes Gore. So it's all here, easily laid out, very beautiful looking. Mine were pathetic by in hindsight. I look back, we're gonna see in a moment what the old site looked like, as I'm gonna walk you through that. But I'm really hoping that this will appeal to a larger audience today. I know it's I know myself, when I look at old websites that look like they've not been updated since the 1990s, and they haven't, it really doesn't seem as impressive. And you also think the data might be old. In other words, not being kept up, which in this case is actually true. Since 2020, I haven't been able to edit any of this stuff. It was in a deep sixth by a credit card expiration. Okay, edification, prayer, Bible studies, encouragement. So again, this is all very nicely laid out, I think. Okay, here's the draft page on media. Radio interview, a nice photograph there, a compliment there, the YouTube. And by the way, when you have a YouTube on your page, it really elevates the ranking. So we're going to do something we never did before, putting YouTube links. And we have over 607 or so videos to link into this. That should boost the channel a lot more. Imagine we had 28 million hits in about 10, 11 years. Now, what are we going to get with this channel? People really do want to hear about this information, at least test their beliefs. And maybe there's a lot more people who support us than we really realize. So we're going to go back to try to bring that back. Jesus' words on salvation, and so on and so forth. Audio reading of web pages, and so on. So he's brought this all back. Okay, and the next page he took a picture of was Jesus' words on salvation reviews. And so, as you might have seen this, these are people who are giving their testimonies of how that book basically led them to salvation. And so that's an important thing. I think it's like having an Amazon recommendation from somebody. It's not just me saying it. It's somebody else has had a life-changing experience. It finally has a contact us page, which I think is going to be a lot better. And then has under California law, you have to have a privacy page that explains the privacy rights of the people who come to your channel. We don't collect any data information on you, so that's never a problem. And then we go through the reviews tab links. We're not soliciting you for any, we don't want anyone asking to put advertising on our site. That's not our goal here. Critical email. When you give me a critical email, there's implied consent and fair use if I then use your email, or In the YouTube channel, it's comments. Same thing is I can quote you and I can put it on the internet. Okay, so just let me spend a couple of minutes giving you guidance on how to go back to the old site. It's still in archive form, so I'm not editing or adding to it at this time. It's called www.jesuswordsonly.org, and the landing page would be home if you want to go there. And this is what you'd see. And this is a good site page to give to people who are strangers because it actually introduces people to the concept. So look at the first paragraph. See how radical that might be to somebody. It isn't radical. Our missions proclaim Lord Jesus' lesson that he was the sole teacher, Matthew 23:8-11, and sole pastor, John 10:16. He sternly told the apostles they were not to call themselves or anyone else a teacher. In John, Jesus explained why when he insisted that, quote, the apostolos is not more important than the one who sent him, John 13:16. The Greek word apostolos means either the title of apostle or messenger or one that is sent. Here, Jesus meant he was more important than any other apostle or messenger. So when you give people this page, they literally get a nice overview of just simple facts of things Jesus said that nobody does. Nobody obeys him as their sole pastor, master, teacher. They treat somebody else in place of him as their sole master, teacher, and preacher. That's really a fact of life. 99% of Christianity does that. The Anabaptists, Mr. Burcote, he's the only one I know that speaks out boldly on that. Pastor Buzzard, that is someone who also attacks dispensationalism in a way that he wants the gospel of Jesus to be taught. So I'd actually put him in there, but he's retired, so he doesn't quite count anymore in the sense of out there leading a congregation of some sort. So anyway, that's a good page to always hand out to people. Then there's books. So we have several books that are basically here set forth. Jesus Words Only is the book I wrote in 2005, and then it's all here. But just so you know, I do a synopsis of the book up front. So if you gave this to someone that, do they want to read all the chapters? Well, maybe you give them this, when you give them this landing page, then they see the synopsis, and then they go, and I give them some juicy stuff, and then I say what the book means, and then here it is. It's got ordering print book information. Just so you know, since 2014, my publisher sent me not a dime. They're underwater for some reason. They're stealing from all their authors. I didn't make significant money anyway, but it's just simply the principle of it. One of these days, I have to take care of that. Anyway, but order that if you want somebody to have a physical book in their possession. Then there's each chapter is free online. We also have some appendices to the book that are not in the book because it's just a lot of extra pages. And then I have important lessons. I give canon studies. What is New Testament canon? History of the first canon through 180 AD. That, by the way, that's intended to be the next book I come out. What's the history of canon through 180 AD? So by focusing in on that, we isolate what did the early church think was canon? And just the easy answer is only Jesus' words were canon. Letters were not canonicized. That's mentioned by Metzger, all the leading historians on that era when they pinpoint it. And it's only in the 300s and 400s that these people had this idea that letters, which never in the world were ever considered prophetic before, but now suddenly are because we're pagans. We're led by pagans, and that's what they turn letters that cannot be deemed inspired scripture because you're not quoting Yahweh, which is a mandatory requirement in Jeremiah 34. If you don't do that, God commended the Rechabites for refusing to listen to Jeremiah because Jeremiah didn't quote God. Yahweh's the source of what he was saying, and they disobeyed him, and God commended them and says, my people Israel, they listened to all these people who just simply talked off the top of their head and just didn't quote my name, and you took and believed them. That's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Letters are letters, and that's all they ever were. But they can be edifying, and some can be very damaging, and some can be a test of you, whether you believe in a false apostle. And that's really the important thing and what we're focused on. But anyway, I digress. Answering critics. So we have a list of all the critics at that time. Now we've got the comments on this page. So you probably have enough critics that you can read every day. Answer to difficult questions, email dialogues, frequently asked questions, quizzes. So this, I think, is a good introduction to someone to see that this is not a fly-by-night decision that they're going to make. They're going to have to thoroughly test Paul, and it's not we're going to provide all the information that will help anybody make this commitment to Christ. And it is a true difference. It's a radical change to follow Christ. As strange as it may sound, that's not a joke. It's really what's happening. Anyway, and then I went through each one of the links. These are all active again. So when Alan restored it, I had no idea he'd only restored 10% of the files. 2,211 or so, he didn't restore. He didn't restore 90% of the file. So John Hurt deserves a big prayer request. He's under persecution and attack by somebody. He doesn't even know who, and it's trying to destroy his certain activities he does for business to make money, and so that's being interfered with. So please pray for protection of John Hurt if you can't. If you can, take some time to do that, please. Okay, so anyway, they're all active again, and even the PDF works. That was pretty amazing here. And one thing I want to show you, let me show you the PDF worked, because that was pretty amazing. This Alan never did, so the PDF works. You want to see what that is? There it is. But some of these you can't see a highlight of the HTML, but press it anyway, and it still works. That's the only little thing. Some of the highlighting isn't there, and then all the articles are here. And I haven't tested all these articles out yet, but I'm pretty sure. Let's try this one. Critical remarks on Paul and Paulinus by Soren Kierkegaard, one of our greatest JWO people. By the way, and when people come to this website who are maybe more of the atheist persuasion or intellectuals and so on, there are strong intellectuals that you could give them as proof of this principle, that people who are respected in the philosophical world, like Soren Kierkegaard, he's considered a giant amongst intellectuals, and yet he had the same feeling about Paul. And in fact, he said we shouldn't call ourselves Christian anymore. And I disagree with him on that, but I just want to tell you, I mean, that's how far he took it. He said, because that has become so tainted with Paulinism, he doesn't want to even be called a Christian anymore. And he actually thinks that participating in Christianity anymore is participating in a fraud. But he has a strong lover of Christ. He was a Lutheran student, pupil in theological school. So he's a great person. You might want to recommend your atheist friends or your because they'll know him. They'll say, Soren Kierkegaard, I've read all of his philosophical works. You mean he was a Christian? And well, he was not a Christian in that sense. He was a non-Pauline follower of Christ? You say yes. He was one of the first ones to break out from the mold and started leading this movement. This is not Doug later in time doing something radical. This was something that a long path of people took these steps, step by step by step. Leo Tolstoy, another intellectual giant, he's the same thing. So this site gives you a lot of things you can refer to friends and say, hey, take a look at this page. What do you think of this page? Just try to use it to sometimes pique somebody's thought processes. But I will tell you this, Facebook blocked JesusWordsOnly.com, but they did not block this site yet. So I don't know why or who did that, but it was never allowed to. If you posted it, your site was taken down. I even created a special Facebook account of JesusWordsOnly.com and tried to post the JesusWordsOnly.com, and it got blocked. So I do not know why it did that, but that's the way of life. And what do you do? Then you die. You live and you die. Anyway, and then there's just, it's all here. And further reading tab. And most important, I want to teach you just real quick how to look up topics and how to look up Bible verses. So literally, I created a topical index, and this is a topical index, and here it is. And so you can look it up by words. And then if you go all the way down, the only way to get to it is you got to go all the way to the bottom to find the Bible verse index. And that's just maybe a flaw we'll get rid of in the next iteration of the web page. And so you go all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And then you'll see it says, here, where is it? Bible verse index. Then you click that, and now the Bible verses are all here with the pages. Whatever page mentioned or went into great detail about a particular passage, here it is. So Luke 16, verses 1 to 16 on the parable of the shrewd manager, for example, and so on. You just go down. It's all here. And then if you go all the way down, here's the original Testament, Genesis 3, it's Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, 1 Kings, Chronicles, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Habakkuk, Micah, Zechariah. And then we have some secondary sources and commentaries and so on and so forth. So this is a really exciting thing for me that it's back. I'm just so glad that links are no longer broken. I didn't know why they were broken. I thought they just didn't. I thought they weren't backed up. Is actually what I assumed. I thought, why would Alan not have restored everything? But he didn't. 90% he didn't do. So John, being a very strong supporter of the Jesus Words Only principle, took a lot of time, and he stayed up long nights besides the work he's doing, and he's under stress because he's under attack at his job, that somebody's interfering with his ability to make a living. and somehow he's survived through all that, and he's doing a great job to get around that, and we're praying for him to succeed. So please pray for him. It's a very, I think, a lot of attacks going on lately, but this attack that was meant for evil, in my opinion, actually has worked out for good, because now we've exposed that it only had 10% recovery. Now we're getting a 99%. Only 1% of the pages are missing. So that's a great restart. So anyway, that's the update, and we hope to hear from Blake on the main recreation. He's I think he was saying next week he's going to have a large amount further done, so we will get an update on that. And that is, I think, going very beautifully. He's working hard, and he has a heart for what we're talking about. And we hope that we can get this wrapped up quickly. So I want to say thank you to all those who sent in financial support to help this project get off the ground. And there's a few more things I have to get done to get this resolved completely and restored. But anyway, I just thank everyone who donated for this cause and for this project. And may God bless you all, and everybody who's praying for this restoration as well. I know that a lot of us are all in a financially tight time, and it's a great sacrifice. But prayers are always welcome, and I believe Yahweh is listening and helping us. So I pray this in the name of the Lord Yeshua, and God bless. Take care, everybody. Ciao. Bye.